So tourism and culture, where can we look to? Well, the most obvious place to look is Ireland. Now, about 10 years ago, they were talking about taking in €2 billion from cultural tourism. And the amazing thing from that was that 4 out of 5 visitors that went to Ireland said they went there specifically because of culture and history and the arts. So what can we learn from that? A lot of people see, I suppose, Highland history as being the clearances and Culloden, and it's a bit depressing. But by God, have you actually looked at Irish history? It is just as bleak. Mass emigrations, famines, but they have done an amazing thing using their heartstrings on the diaspora and pulling people from all over the world to get involved. And the amazing thing is, despite the heartbreak that is involved in their history, if you look at Ireland just now, you think the whole island is having a céilí at all times. They've managed to paint this picture that there is music going live in Dublin at all times, that there's magical little sessions happening in tiny little pubs all over Ireland, and they match it in with the scenery. It's a brilliant job they've done. Now, I look at Inverness, and you can look on an evening here, a fine summer's evening, and you'll see the tourists that have been wandering about. They've been on boats, they've been on buses, they've been on walks all the way around our fantastic area. But then it comes to the evening in Inverness, and what is there to do? We need a strategy that brings what we have here, which is music, culture, history, all together and matches it with what we want to do in tourism. Now, the amazing thing is there are major advertising agencies right across the world that are working for drinks companies that are all looking for authentic stories. Now, what we have here in the Highlands is just a dream come true for an advertising agency. We have got the history, we've got the music, we've got the language, and we've got the landscape. We've also got the food and drink. You know, you can tie it all together and you have this amazing package. Now, you may say, what about food and drink? How's that involved in culture? Well, it's absolutely intrinsic if you think about it. If you go to Italy, for instance, what are they passionate about? Their wine and their food, right? So that's why people go to Italy a lot of the time. The history's there as well, but the food and drink is part of that cultural experience. Just a wee example of what we've been doing here at McGregor's Bar and in Inverness is the Highland Malt Whisky Experience, which is a little project Davy Holt, a great singer and friend of ours, and myself have been doing. Basically, it takes whisky tasting, music, song and storytelling and history all wrapped into one night's entertainment. And the feedback we've got from people has just been incredible. And it makes you think what we can do throughout the whole of the Highlands here with all the tremendous young musicians that are out there, all the bodies, the arts organisations that are out there, and try and tie it up with tourism. Because if we can do it, we are going to be one of the destinations in the world.
Action!